मैं अब दरख्वास्त दूंगी डॉक्टर खुर्रम को, जिन्होंने इस पूरे प्रोग्राम का हमें रैप अप देना है। उन्होंने बहुत से पॉइंट्स लिए, आई थ्रू इन टू अनएक्सपेक्टेड पीपल, तो इंशाल्लाह उनको भी आपने कवर किया होगा। डॉक्टर सैयद खुर्रम मेहदी जो हैं वो कन्वीनर हैं सारिम के और HOD हैं क्रिमिनोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट के ज़बुल पे, और एक डिस्टिंग्विश्ड एकेडमिक एंड ह्यूमन राइट्स एडवोकेट हैं। जैसे शुरू में मैंने इनका तारुफ़ किया था, इस वक्त और लोग बैठे हुए हैं तो मैं इसको रिपीट करना चाहूँगी। और इनकी लेवरेज, ये अपनी जो एक्सपर्टीज़ है उसको लेवरेज करते हैं लीगल डायमेंशंस टू चैम्पियन माइनॉरिटी राइट्स इन द रीजन। सो ओवर टू यू।
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As we draw to a close the insightful and impactful conference, breaking the silence, examining violence against women, minority women within the South Asian region and beyond, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude and hope. Over the past few days, we have engaged in critical discussions, heard powerful testimonies, and explored multifaceted perspective on the urgent issues of violence against minority women. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Fernand D. Verens, the former UN rapporteur on minority issues, whose depth of knowledge and unwavering commitment to human rights has set a high standard for our disclosure. His contribution have illuminated the complex dynamics of minority issues on a global scale and reinforced the importance of international solidarity. I am equally grateful to our distinguished panel of speakers, Professor Dr. Syed Khuram Mehdi. Your academic leadership and insights have been very invaluable for us. Ms. Reenu Sijapati, your network with the International Dalit Solidarity Network and the FEDO in Nepal has provided a critical grassroots perspective that underscores the resilience and strength of Dalit women. Dr. Sonu, your activism for minority rights has highlighted the pervasive challenges and the necessity for systematic change. Sir, to Ms. Anjuman Ara Begum, your academic expertise from the Royal Global University has enriched our understanding of the socio-legal framework which is affecting the minority women. Ma'am Pushpa and Ma'am Anita, I'm very grateful to you. Your relentless advocacy for the women, especially the minority women rights, serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all of us. Ms. Iram Sharmila, your extraordinary dedication to civil and politics rights continue to be a powerful reminder of the courage which is required to challenge the injustice. Bishop Frederick John, your perspective on the intersection of faith and human rights have added a unique and necessary dimension to our discussion. Thank you very much, sir. Ms. Aisha Ghazi, your work in filmmaking and activism through I Resist has emphasized the crucial role of media in advocacy and awareness. Lastly, Ms. Irfana Yasir, your journalistic expertise has provided a critical lens through which we can view the regional implication of our discussion. This conference would not have been possible without the unwavering support of our presiding authority, Professor Dr. Mujibuddin Sehrai Memon, our worthy Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much, sir. Your vision and leadership have been instrumental in bringing together this diverse and dynamic group of scholars, activists, and practitioners. Thank you, sir. Our collaborative efforts with South Asia Research Institute for Minorities have been fundamental to the success of this event. Together, we have not only examined the multifaceted nature of violence against minority women, but also reaffirm our commitment to advocacy, policy change, and the promotion of human rights. Before concluding, firstly, I would like to briefly discuss the legal provisions and the fundamental rights for the protection of minority community in Pakistan. In Pakistan, the protection of minority communities, particularly in terms of freedom of religion, is enshrined with both national legal provisions and international commitments, such as the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We have some legal provisions in our constitution, that is the Constitution of Pakistan 1973, Article 20, which guarantees every citizen the right to profess, practice, and propagate their religion. Whereas the Article 21 ensures that no person shall be compelled to pay any special tax for the propagation of any religion other than their own. Article 22, it protects the educational institutions from imparting religious instructions against the will of the students or their guardians. Article 25 affirms the equality of all citizens and prohibit the discrimination on the basis of religion, race, sex, or place of birth. And Article 36 obligates the state to safeguard the legitimate right and interests of minorities, including their due representation in federal and provincial services. Whereas we can see the Pakistan Penal Code 1860, Section 295C provides stringent penalties for blasphemy against any religion, although it is often criticized for misuse against the religious minority. Section 298 criminalizes the actions intended to hurt religious feelings. Whereas the international commitments as a signatory to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Pakistan is committed to upholding the following provisions relevant to the protection of minorities. Article 18 affirms the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This includes the freedom to have or adopt a religion or belief of one's choice, and the freedom of manifest one religion or belief in worship, observance, practice, and teaching. Article 27 mandates that ethnic, religious, or linguistic minorities shall not be denied the right to enjoy their own culture, to profess and practice their own religion, or to use their own language. So, as a recent development, in recent years there have been efforts to improve the situation of minorities in Pakistan, and the establishment of the National Commission for Minorities in the year 2020 aimed at addressing the grievances and protecting the rights of minority communities. Judicial interventions have occasionally reinforced the rights of minorities, as seen in the landmark Supreme Court decisions advocating for minority protection. Pakistan legal provisions, coupled with its international obligation under the ICCPR, form a robust framework for the protection of minority rights. However, effective implementation remains crucial to ensuring that these rights are upheld in practice. fostering a more inclusive and tolerant society. Here, in addition, I would like to quickly present some harrowing cases of violent crime against minority women in the South Asian region, which underscore the urgency and gravity of the issue. So we can see in Gujarat, during the year 2002 Gujarat riots, Bilkis Bano case, she was gang raped and 14 of her family members were murdered. The Supreme Court of India ordered compensation and life imprisonment for the perpetrators, but their premature release in the year 2022 sparked widespread outrage and highlighted issues with the justice system. Whereas in Badin, Pakistan, Rajita Megwar Kohli case, Rajita, a Hindu girl, was kidnapped and forced to convert to Islam, married against her will, and sent her to a women's shelter. This case highlighted the systematic discrimination. However, the case was filed under the court to hold the perpetrator accountable. We can see in Nepal the Kalpana Bhandari case. One well-known case involving violence against some minority women in Nepal is the case of Kalpana Bhandari. She was a Dalit woman who was brutally murdered in the year 2016. Bhandari was beaten to death by members of a higher caste community after she refused to work as a bonded labor in their field. Her murder sparked outrage and highlighted the pervasive caste-based discrimination and violence against Dalit women in Nepal. This case drew attention to the need for greater protection of minority women's rights and efforts to combat caste-based discrimination in the country. Moreover, Manipur, India, sadly in the year 2023, in the month of May, Manipur saw severe ethnic violence between two communities, Methi and Kuki. A particularly horrific incident involved two Kuki women being paraded naked and assaulted by a mob from the Methi community. This violence, rooted in historical and socio-political tensions, has led to a number of deaths, injuries, and displacements. The Supreme Court have taken measures to address the situation, including deploying military forces to restore the order. In Ghazipur, Tongi, Bangladesh, April 2013, a sixth grader from Ghazipur, Tongi, abducted, found by police after 55 days later in a hotel in Cox's Bazar. She had been repeatedly raped by local boys. Tandu Muhammad Khan, Pakistan, Radha Megwar case. Another significant case involved Radha Megwar, minor from the Hindu community, who was kidnapped from her village in Tandu Muhammad Khan. Activists have pointed out that such kidnappings aim to terrorize the Hindu families into leaving their homes. The police was criticized for their inaction in locating and assisting Radha. Rohingya, the rape case. 5 soldiers suddenly stormed into 16-year-old's house, slashed her husband's neck, killing him. 2 soldiers pulled her into a room, snatched her 3-month-old son from her arms, and put him on the floor. They searched her clothes for valuables and took her earnings. Another 3 men came in and began to beat her with guns. She was brutally gang raped by 5 soldiers. Hijab ban, yet another pressing issue. In 2022, Karnataka government imposed a ban on wearing hijabs in the educational institutions, sparking significant protest and legal battles. the Karnataka High Court upheld the ban, ruling the hijab is not an essential religious practice under Islam. This case was taken into the Supreme Court, which delivered a split verdict. The matter has been referred to a larger bench, and the ban remains in effect until the final decision. These cases, among others, serve as a stark reminder of the pervasive and often systemic nature of violence against minority women. They highlight the urgent need for the robust legal framework and the effective law enforcement, and of course a societal shift towards greater empathy and justice. In addition, I would like to quickly present the summary as a part of conclusion. I would like to quickly summarize the speeches of the learned panel. We have been privileged to hear from an array of distinguished speakers who have illuminated these issues from various perspectives. Dr. Fernand de Verens, our esteemed keynote speaker, discussed the plight and victimization of minority women in South Asia, focusing on India's Muslim minorities and Rohingya Muslim women. Drawing from his experience as a former UN Special Rapporteur on minority issues, he addressed relevant UN provisions and the challenges in implementing them. Dr. Sonu Kangrani highlighted the health discrimination, educational discrimination, and the impact of social distancing on minority women. He underscores how these intersecting issues exacerbate the disparities in healthcare, the access of healthcare, education, and economic opportunities. Dr. Anjum Ara, a renowned human rights activist and scholar, provided a sobering account of the condition of minority women in Assam. She shared personal stories of victims affected by National Register of Citizens, that is NRC, and the Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA. She discussed the existence of detention camps and their impact on women. Miss Iram Sharmila, known as the Iron Lady, spoke on the pervasive issues of sexual violence against women in India, particularly in Manipur. She shared her experiences during her 16-year hunger strike to demand the repeal of the Armed Forces Special Power Act, which is the AFSPA. The Bishop Frederick John highlighted the Pakistani government's response to vandalism of minority sacred places, and of course the obstacles faced by the Christian minority women, focusing on the discrimination, social exclusion, and the exacerbation of these issues by social distancing measures. Ms. Aisha Ghazi discussed the severe challenges and human rights abuses faced by Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. She presented her documentary, The Most Unwanted, which captured the experiences and struggles of the Rohingya community. Ms. Irfana Yasir emphasized the importance of responsible media coverage of sensitive topics related to the minority women. She also highlighted the role of the media in fostering understanding, challenging misconceptions, and contributing to advocacy for the systemic change. Ms. Reenu Sajapati, she discussed the caste-based discrimination and the gender-based violence faced by the Dalit women in Nepal. She highlighted the barriers these women encounter in education, healthcare, and justice exacerbated by deeply entrenched patriarchal norms. Finally, to conclude, let us remember that the dialogue we have initiated here must continue. The stories and data we have shared, the network we have built, and the strategy we have discussed are the stepping stones toward meaningful change. Let us take this momentum forward, each in our respective capacities, to break the silence and work towards a more just and equitable world for minority women. The SAARC Minority Right Charter to safeguard the rights and liberties of religion in South Asia should be adopted by all states. A South Asia minority rights mechanism to be established, including a regional codes on human rights, parliamentary and people forum, and ensure the participation of citizen and vibrant civil society of South Asia in process. Moreover, a regional minority right commission may be formed to ensure the coordination and cooperation between state agencies who are responsible for protection and promotion of minority rights, especially of minority women across the South Asian region. Once again, thank you all for your participation, your contribution, and your unwavering commitment to this vital cause. May our collective effort bear the fruit of peace, justice, and empowerment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khuram, for this very comprehensive overview of the entire proceedings.